Well, there are so many distractions out there for our kids than ever, and this also affects their mental health and well-being, and that's why the Association of Idaho Cities is currently on the Tandem Tour to show kids that they are not alone and to teach them how to work together in tandem. Here to tell us all about it is Sheila Chistensen. She's with the League of Idaho Cities, and we also have Audrey Draper of Music Care Music Therapy. So great to have you both here today.
Thank you.
Yes, and this is such an incredible event and an opportunity that I don't think a lot of people are really aware of. So I'm really glad to put the spotlight on this today. Tell us about the Tandem Tour. Give us a little Cliff Notes version. What is this all about?
So the tour is a series of events that's traveling around Idaho, and we are targeting youth of mayors, teen councils, and other youth group leaderships that want to help shed a light on mental health awareness and help with substance abuse prevention and with the effects that COVID has had on a lot of the youth in this generation, and working with their communities to remove the stigma of speaking about mental health awareness.
Yeah, such an important time to do so. I know as a parent myself, I've noticed, impacts. Our kids are resilient. We hear it time and time again, but the truth is, all too often we see them bury so many things, and then later down the road, we see certain things come to the surface, right?
Right.
So important to address it now while we can, and it helps us too as parents. I know that sometimes I'm able to learn certain tools that help me as an individual when I'm there for my child like this. Okay, so let's talk further about this. What are the goals of the tour?
So some of the goals of the tour, one is just to help teach this concept of working in tandem, because people need people. And we are not alone on this journey, and we want the youth to know that it's okay to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness to reach out, and to also understand how they can maybe help someone that they care about. Audrey is really great taking on this tour for us because she's so relatable to the youth, and she shares a little bit of her personal journey with mental health struggles. And so I think it's so relatable for the kids to be able to hear her story and understand that it's real, and we never know when we may need to use this in our lives.
So they're able to identify with Audrey and realize they're not alone,
Absolutely.
right? That you've been in their shoes before. So tell us about these events. How are you helping the teens, and how's your message being shared? What are you doing?
Yeah, so one of the main goals of my presentation is to provide take-home tools, take-home mental health tools that focus on communicating about mental health and developing coping skills for when we experience or feel stuck in those difficult emotional states. And like she mentioned, I talk about some of my personal experiences struggling with mental health and being in talk therapy and what a positive impact that's had on me. And at that, starting there to get help and to start those conversations, and you have to ask, to get started. And one of the examples of the take-home tools we're providing are these starter conversation cards. So one is examples of how to ask for help for ourselves, and the other is if we see someone else struggling, it can be nerve-wracking and vulnerable to be in that position to ask them if they need help or what do I do? Where do I start?
Or to know how to approach a situation, right? Like
Exactly.
You're recognizing a red flag, you see the signs for help, but how do you enter into that conversation to help that person? This is so valuable and so important, because I know so many parents right now are probably looking for these resources. They see their youth struggling, but they don't know how to help. They don't know how to start these conversations. And for these youth to have those tools themselves in their little handbag to kind of help each other, as you mentioned, work in tandem, right?
Right.
Is just, wow, such valuable groundwork that you guys are doing. Okay, so you're doing a tour throughout the state.
We are.
Okay, so what's next? Because you just have a couple more stops coming up. I want to make sure people know, and then they know too how to reach out and become a part of this if they want to.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're targeting mayors, youth advisory councils, and other, like I said, student youth leadership groups. We're holding an event tonight, actually, in Meridian at 5:30 at Meridian City Hall.
Oh, great.
And anyone is welcome to attend. We'd like to get youth there, as well as teachers, parents, as well as city leadership. We're working, another goal of this tour is to create more of these mayors' youth advisory councils across the state. We want the youth to be heard in their communities, and we want them to feel like they are invited to be part of their community. And we're hoping that with this course that they will take some of these tools that they've learned and share with their peers and with their leaders.
So valuable. Okay, so if people want to attend tonight, if they want to know more about the other future stops, or maybe they want to get involved, or they want to, just learn more, where do they go? What do they do?
Yep, they can check out idaho-cities.org/tandem tour, and it will give them all of the events coming up, and they're welcome to attend any of them. We're up north next week with several stops in Orfino, Lewiston, Troy, and then in Southeast Idaho the week after. So
excellent. So you are covering the entire state.
We are.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you both so much for what you're doing. Audrey, thank you for sharing your story and being available to youth that really need that peer-to-peer example and connection. So valuable.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, make sure you check it out because you can't afford not to, right?